is directly related to this practice.
Nice.
I do.
So you're feeling happiness
I'm feeling some
as a
happiness.
result of this practice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
it's
just the knowledge that I'm undoing,
Mm-hmm.
and that what I see means either nothing or it's not what I think it means.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the veil, the Course uses that word a lot. The veil has been pulled across our vision and true self. And so that's what we're doing, is we're just peeling back the veil, one thought, one emotion, one experience at a time. And the whole, this is what makes our lifetime a classroom where we choose a different teacher. Isn't that nice? And the Course is so direct. It's remarkably direct, and sometimes it seems like there's contradictory points in it, but there's no way to talk about the truth with words that don't seem to sometimes get in the way, right? So in even though there are what seems like there's contradictory points throughout the Course, it is remarkably clear and remarkably direct and remarkably gentle. So not too many things can be so gentle and so kind and so direct. Yeah. Lesson number 31. It says, I am not the victim of the world I see. Victimization is one of the ego's favorite tools. It keeps the hierarchy of illusion alive. It keeps me small in relation to another. It reinforces this idea, because if there's a victim, then there must be a victimizer. There must be something outside of me that has this control and this thing that's being held over me, even if it's something that I'm creating or miscreating myself. I'm a victim of a polluted world, for example. And then, so you could hold the pollution itself, those who came before that polluted the world, blah, 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 all these things could make me feel that I'm a victim on lots of different levels and lots of different ways of the world I see. It's a ploy of the ego thought system, and we're going to lift the veil a little bit on this idea. I'd like you to begin today, as if you haven't already, begin lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the bolster. Yeah, a little bit off the wall. Lie on your back, knees bent, feet on the bolster, and be sure the bolster is situated where it feels supportive, not too far away, not too close. And then, if doable, you'll interlock your fingers under your head. Lift the chin a little bit. Bring the soles of the feet together. And with your eyes closed, your throat open, head heavy in your hands or on the floor, just let the shape begin to inform you about your hips. Every once in a while, there are shapes where we can just fully relax into, and the sensation feels appropriate and helpful. But sometimes we need to have a little activity to let gravity begin to take over. So monitoring that for a moment. I'll read the first paragraph. Today's idea is the introduction to your declaration of release. Wow. So if I can begin to see that I am not the victim of the world I see, this is going to bring me my release. This is going to bring me my freedom. It says, again, the idea should be applied to both the world you see without and the world you see within. In applying the idea, we will use a form of practice which will be used more and more with changes as indicated. Generally speaking, the form includes two aspects, one in which you apply the idea on a more sustained basis, and the other consisting of more frequent applications of the idea throughout the day. So more and more and more, we begin to have these ideas of release. I'm not a victim of the world I see. As I'm going through my day, as I'm engaged in one relationship to the other, as I might be perceiving myself victimized, I might be saying this to myself. Now press your feet into the bolster and move your low back more toward the floor. Feel the sensation. Sometimes we might even feel that we're a victim of the body we seem to live in. I'm not a victim of my pain. I'm not a victim of the body I seem to inherit. Now, pressing the feet, slowly raise the right leg up toward the ceiling, and begin to straighten this knee and engage the leg and pull the toes towards you. Keep pressing into the left foot some to keep the belly and back moving down. Keep the back of the pelvis nice and even. Lisa's not trying to see how far she can bring her leg toward her. She's just sticking to the details, pressing the foot, belly down, back down, engaging the leg. And if it gets to be too straining, then be with the shape for a while and then be done with it. We'll come back for another day. Press the left foot into the bolster, press the belly and abs down, and very slowly bring the soles of the feet back together. Good. Both feet, belly and back down, chin lifted, eyes closed. I am not a victim of the world I see. Stabilize with the right leg and the right foot and slowly raise the left. Up toward the ceiling, extend the knee, heel away, toes to you. What is it that's keeping you out of your knee? What is it that's keeping out of your quadricep and out of the deep experience down into the bones and into the hip? Rigidity, cramping, knee sensation. Find a way to meet it. Welcome it. Get to know it. There's no fight. If it becomes a fight, then it's time to release the shape. Good. Stabilize with the right leg. Press the belly down in very slow motion. Lower your foot down. Bring the feet together. Knees wide once again. Okay, now slide the right leg in front of the left. So now it's the Sukhasana shape. The shins are crossed. The heels are still kind of lining up with the knees, and they're moving laterally a little bit. Okay. Switch the interlock of your fingers. Turn your head to the right. Now, once again, see if, or let me phrase the sentence this way. Observe the effort and the sensation that would keep you from being more passive in the shape. Is it 100% safe and okay to be more passive? If not, then we wait for the day and we do the management. Inner thighs might be working a little bit. Yeah, so one of the aims of the course is for us to realize that there's no difference between the inner and the outer. So whether I see myself, the world I see with my eyes or experience with my body in the world, if I see myself victimized from an outer world, what it's trying to do in these lessons is get us to see that it's no different than the way we perceive ourselves victimized even by our own thoughts. Bring your head back to the center. Switch the cross of your legs, left in front. Make the adjustment. That's it. And slowly turn your head to the left. So the lesson is emphasizing the importance of practicing this idea. I am not the victim of the world I see, both using our eyes and our proprioceptive senses with how we perceive and relate to the outer world, as well as to our own inner thoughts. And then in paragraph 3, it says, as you survey your inner world, merely let whatever thoughts cross your mind come into your awareness, each to be considered for a moment and then replaced by the next. Try not to establish any kind of hierarchy among them. Watch them come and go as dispassionately as possible. Do not dwell on any one in particular, but try to let the stream move on evenly and calmly without any special investment on your part. As you sit and quietly watch your thoughts, repeat today's idea to yourself as often as you care to, but with no sense of hurry. It's a gentle mantra that we can have throughout the day. It can be a mantra that we supplant in our heart and mind just before we go to sleep at night. Bring your head back to the center. And release your arms down by your sides. Now raise your knees, have your feet on the bolster. And bring the right knee toward the left shoulder. Interlock your fingers behind the thigh or maybe over. Yeah. And aim the knee, the right knee toward the left shoulder. So you have this diagonal approach across your torso. You feel into the groin, you feel into the depths of your hip and your belly and your back. A little stretch in the outer right hip. Don't be aggressive with that. Make it all the same. It said, watch these thoughts come and go as dispassionately as possible. Why dispassionately? Because the ego wants us to feel passionate about our victimization. If you really stop and think about it, there's juice. It's like watching a drama unfold on television, but it's our own drama, it's our own story, and we're juiced by our victimization. To the point where we will defend our smallness, we'll defend our victimhood with passion. We'll fight for our rights. The moment I fight for my rights is the moment I reinforce my victimhood. Lower your foot to the bolster. Remember the lesson, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Bring the left knee toward the right shoulder. Sink into the shape. Feel into the egoic passion to be victim or victimized. Whether it's grand or small. That's why the lesson is asking us not to put them in too much of a hierarchical arrangement, not to be too passionate about one over the other, because just like anger, victimhood can be small or great and have the same outcome. The veil is still drawn over my peace, my joy, my true self, where all of my power, where all my power resides. Power to be joyous, power to be peaceful, power to simply be above it all. It's like playing in a sandbox. Down in the sandbox, and the kids are throwing sand around. It's getting in your face. It's getting in your eyes, and after enough time goes you by, like, wait a minute. All I have to do is stand up. I can be above it all, and still be in it. Participate willingly, but don't be afraid of any of it. Lower your foot to the bolster. And then stretch your legs over the bolster. Adjust the bolster so it's underneath your knees, heels on the floor, arms comfortably positioned at your sides, palms up. For a moment, let's honestly look at the ways in which we play the role of a victim. If you're in a body, in this world, then you've played that role to some degree or another. Willingly, honestly looking at that, now we can say, I'm taking a stand. I'm done with that nonsense. I'm ready to stand up in my mind and my heart. I am not a victim of the world I see. Be gentle with yourself. Remember that the ego, once it catches wind that you're moving in this healed direction and you're lifting yourself above the sandbox of life, you're rising up. The ego, whether it's these thoughts of these fear thoughts that come from within, or even sometimes the people around you, they'll start to pull you back down. Wait a minute. No, 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 no. Stay down here with me. Okay, so we just watch that. We're ready for that. It's an ongoing process. It can happen in an instant. Sometimes it takes a little time. That's what time is for, to heal. All right, now push the bolster away, roll to one side, and find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Yes. We're overcoming the odds. In a sense, everything is stacked against us. And so we can gently acknowledge that. Wow, yes, no wonder it's been so challenging. No wonder it's been difficult. The odds here in this world are stacked against me. But I'm overcoming them. Bring your hands to your heart. And with a smile, maybe on your face, but certainly in your heart, we can gently acknowledge as we go through the day, I am not a victim of the world I see. Namaste.